All right, chismosas, this is part 3 of a grad school hazing. This is also a peer edition because I ran out of time in the last video. But this story is a little more sinister because this is something that happened that actually helped to propel my coraje and help propel me to actually finish my PhD eventually. Once upon a time, I was taking a seminar where the professor had us read the book Mother Tongue by Demetria Martinez, who is, a journalist and author. And he had us write response papers, 1 page, maybe 1.5. And we all were gonna read our response papers out loud to her. But the day before, he wanted us to read our response papers to each other so that he could check whether there was a variety of responses. And he also wanted to see if there were any issues with the responses not being robust enough or whatever. So if you've ever taken a class with me, you've probably read Mother Tongue. And you know what I think about that fucking book, okay? So in the book, there's a 3rd-generation New Mexico Chicana who doesn't know much about her culture, doesn't know what's up, but then her godmother, grandmother, whatever, is part of a sanctuary movement, helping refugees and asylees from El Salvador and Guatemala find their place as they move through the U.S., right? So she's like a stop on this underground railroad. And now the godmother has to take off and leaves this young girl there. And the minute that the refugee that she's assigned to look after arrives on her doorstep, she immediately begins to hypersexualize him, to indigenize him. Oh God, that book is just problematic as fuck. But anyway, back to the drama, back to the chisme story of what happened. I wrote my response paper, and this is what I wrote about. I basically said that the Chicana protagonist uses Central American trauma voyeuristically to find her own pain and to heal through the trauma of Central American war trauma. The professor said I couldn't read that paper out loud to our guest because it would insult our guest. Now, I took his feedback and made it a little tamer. I would say I took it from like 75% intensity to maybe 25% intensity. But when I left the room that day, a senior grad student, again, I was in my 2nd year at that point, said to me, "So you're the type of scholar who's gonna throw Chicanos under the bus. You're the type of scholar who's gonna go on Fox News and talk shit about the work we're doing and the identity building that we're doing through literature and whatever." He said, "You're the type of scholar who's gonna sell out for the right price." He wasn't wrong about that necessarily. But then he said, "Why are you even here?